Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Louise of Rebecca Louise Knits and this is the Rebecca Louise Knits podcast episode 3. So before I get started, the behind me does look a little bit different. I'm trying different places to film because I am doing this from my bedroom and it's not the biggest room in the world. So I'm just trying to see which backdrop I prefer, and I thought I'd do it from here today to see how it goes. So podcast episode 3, we are into a new year. It's the end of January, finally. I really wanted January to end. I don't know how anyone else felt about it, but I needed January to go away. So yeah, Happy New Year to any of you who haven't watched any of my January videos yet. I'm hoping you've had a really good start to 2025, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my finished objects from December and January, my works in progress and some acquisitions. So I'm going to start with finished objects to begin with, and so let's get started. Okay, so first up I have this fluffy pom-poms, very fluffy, and this is the Fool's Square Beanie by me. The pattern for this hat is available on my Etsy if you're interested in purchasing the pattern for yourself. Absolutely loved this. It was really spontaneous. About the second week of December, I was at my Christmas party at my Yarncraft group, and we always do Secret Santa every year, and this is what I picked from my lovely maker friend who is on Instagram, the Yarn Owl. She had bought this lovely colour changing yarn and the most beautiful purple pom-poms, and I remember getting the yarn in the Secret Santa and I just really wanted to make something right away because I really wanted to use the pom-poms, but I just thought of this really lovely square hat and I imagined it with beadwork, which I actually went on to include in the pattern. There's also a tutorial on YouTube of how I worked in the beads into the stitches, so there's help there if you want to learn that technique or anything like that. I'm gonna link all the access to this pattern below as well as the tutorial because it was really fun to work up, and I was so happy with the fit because it's very drapey and really fun, and the pom-poms hanged the exact way that I wanted them to. Yeah, it's a made to measure pattern, so you can fit it to any size that you want and you can work it to any yarn gauge that you have. And yep, that's the Fool's Square Beanie, and this is a crochet pattern, and like I said, all the details are going to be below. So that's my first finished object. Second, I have something a little fun because my birthday was in December, just before Christmas, and I don't know what happened. I mean, I finished the hat really quickly, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, I'd seen something on Pinterest that I really wanted to make for my birthday, and this is it. I crocheted myself a slice of cake for my birthday. It didn't take very long, and I mostly freehanded it because I couldn't really be bothered taking time to try and find a pattern. If I'm totally honest, I was like, I can just do this, it'll be fine. And it worked out okay. It's got a little candle, as you can see. And I really like it. It's really fun, and I think it's going to be great because I can just keep it for like birthdays and celebrations and things like that. And it was a piece of cake. There we go. Yeah. But I was so happy with it, and it actually worked up really quickly. I advise anyone, if you want to make something for your birthday, make a slice of cake because it was really fun and I really enjoyed doing it. And yeah, it crocheted up quite quickly. So I had it in time for the day, which was really good. there's my second finished object. Okay, so the really big one, which if you've been watching any of my videos already, you've already seen, is of course, and if you've kept up with my Instagram, it's also on there as well, I finished the check cardigan, my cream and green check cardigan, which I absolutely loved and laboured over. It took very little time to get to here at the end, and I was really happy, and I've got my beautiful pearl buttons which go with it so well. And yes, finished it. Finished the agony of the sleeves. We finally got there in the end, and I'm really happy with it. I have worn it out, and I have worn it places. It came with me when I travelled up to York for a few days at the beginning of the year, and yeah, so happy with it. I would highly recommend the yarn I use, pure Gynt, brilliant DK. Even when I had to frog and everything, it still had a really good quality to it in the way of the wool, and yeah, I really recommend if you're looking for a good wool, like simple DK in that way, because I was very happy with how it worked up and how it came out in the end. Oh, and the colour work came out so distinctive that I mean, I know it's like quite big in the way of how I shaped them, but yeah, so I talk about that in some of my other videos, and I've spoken about the process and everything because it was completely self-drafted. I worked it all off my own measurements because I wanted to make a cardigan that had this colourwork design on it, and I've spoken a lot about the construction that went in to making it, and how going forward in the things that I want to make, I am looking at different constructions of garments, because I don't know if I really loved it being bottom up in the way that I worked it, although it worked really well for the colourwork and everything like that. I think something I would like to explore is sort of shoulder shaping, which I've talked about a lot in my past video. If you saw my New Year knitting plans, I talked a lot about how I'd like to go forward with the things that I make, and it had a great impact in the decisions that I've made, because in regards to the structure of a pattern and the process of how it's made, especially shaped around the neck, the shoulders and things like that. So I'm looking at a lot of jumpers that are going to be top down for sure, because there's so many different ways that you can make those, and so there's a lot to explore, which is really nice, because that's like the fun part of being a person that makes things, is we get to look at how things are made and how we want to make them ourselves. So it's really exciting, and I'm really happy about, I feel like really positive about where I'm going on my making journey. So yeah, more finished objects. That was the third one. Okay, I have two more. This is the Elli bonnet by Kisskiss.Rhinestones, and absolutely loved this. This is in Drops Kidsilk mohair and in the purple colour, and it's absolutely beautiful. It worked up really quickly, and if you know me, I love an I-cord, so had loads of fun making this. I knit it while I was away on my trip in York, and I think I finished it off just when I got back, so yeah, highly recommend as well as a pattern. It's a very cute accessory. It's very quick to know to work up, but with it being the mohair, it comes off looking like really quite chic, and yeah, it's just really lovely, and I love wearing it because I think it's really cute. And yeah, so that's my fourth one. And then finally, my last finished object is this. This is, well, it isn't complete, I'll be completely transparent. This is half of what is going to be the Abbey scarf by Bridget Zhou. I was in the test knit, and then for timing issues. Like, I've got so much on, as you'll see when we get to my works in progress. I've got so many things that I want to make and things that I'm sort of sorting out myself, that I did let her know that I wouldn't be continuing, but I gave her all my info of how far I'd gotten and everything like that. And so yeah, really, really happy. Absolutely loved the stitch definition that's in the pattern. It will be coming out in springtime, and I'm really, really happy that she's made yet another beautiful pattern with it's got great stitch definition, and the pattern was really, really brilliant. So I highly recommend to look out for that when that comes out. So that's the Abby scarf. Okay, that's all of my finished objects. Considering it was 2 months, I wish there was more too, I'll be honest. But you know, I really take my time going into the new year and looking at like slowing things down, because that's what they're telling us to do now. So yeah, but I have been working away. I've made great progress on one in particular of my works in progress, so I'll start with that. Oh, this bag's probably making noise. Cheers. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. So this is the Frame Your Face cowl by Zhou Knits, and oh my god, the colourwork motif is my absolute favourite thing now. I've been doing it for the past few days and I have it completely memorised, so I'm really, really chuffed with myself. But so happy with how the colourwork's coming out. It looks so neat. And yes, I'm so nearly finished. I have 4 more repeats and then I'm done. I can cast it off and then I can block it. And then I just have to seam it once it's dry. So really feeling that it's going to be finished soon feeling, which is really, really nice when you've been working on something for so while. I'm really happy I dedicated myself to do it because I've got the colourwork down, which means when I go on to do Framed, the sweater, also by Zhou Knits, which has the same colourwork motif, I will not be as worried because that was like full on garment. It wasn't as easy as just like a simple tube like the cowl has been, but now I've got it totally down, so I'm really, really excited to get on with the jumper, well, sweater. So yeah, but just love looking at it. I'm really, really happy. It's so nice to learn a new skill. So just to quickly show you how far I've actually got on the sweater. There's no progress since my last podcast, not at all. So yeah, but I've been concentrating on this and I had loads of other things that I wanted to make, so I'm hopeful that this will be finished in the next week or so, and then I'm really, really hopeful that the framed sweater, that I know I'm not that far into it. Obviously I've just done the ribbing on the bottom, but I am hoping to have it finished by April, because there's a lot of yarn shows that I want to go to, and one of the big ones in April, it's going to be in Edinburgh, is the Woollygood Gathering, and I would love to wear it to Woollygood Gathering, which would be so lovely. So I have got a slight deadline. I'm going to tell myself that I'm going to try and focus on it, have it as my main work in progress, so that I can get the progress done and hopefully it'll be finished in time for me to wear at a few shows. But yeah, that's it. That's my framed works in progress, and as you can probably tell, I'm very, very happy with the progress on the cowl. It really feels like it's getting near the end. Okay, so there was 2 works in progress. My third one is, again, very shamefully, no progress on the wiggly scarf, but I thought I'd show it again because I am going to try and get back into it. My yarn craft group that I go to, we are doing a themed month this month for February, where we're calling it Finish It February, and we've advised people that if you want to take part, you've got to bring something along that's in the works in progress basket that you haven't worked on in a while, and the idea is dedicate the session times each week to try and get that piece finished, to just work through and to clear that space in the basket, the drawer, wherever it is that you keep your works in progress, because we thought it would be really fun to sort of really try and get things off the hooks or off the needles, whatever it is. And yeah, there we go. No progress though, so I will try. Some things have been like sort of finished off, and so it feels really good that I'm like, I can prioritise now. I can prioritise what I'm going to make, what time I'm going to dedicate to what, and that feels really good. It feels very tidy in that sense. I've got one other work in progress which actually I'm yet to cast on, but I wanted to talk about it because I'm absolutely in love with the pattern. I am joining it's Adorable Knits on Instagram, and she is doing a ginger cal for 2025, and that means that you have to knit something within her ginger collection. And I think it runs until sometime in March, and I've chosen to do the ginger scarf in the size medium. And here is my swatch, and it quite possibly is the most beautiful thing I've ever made, and it's only a swatch. Really beautiful cable design, and I can't wait to finish the scarf. So what I'm knitting the scarf in is Beaches and Birches Lapite Lamb's Wool, and I'm holding it together with Drops Kidsilk Mohair in, I think it's the dark beige, in the it's one of the beige colours. I will link everything down below. And this is how it's come out in the swatch. And I can't wait to cast it on. And of course there's always too much to do and not enough time to do it. I'm well aware. I really am. Just do a little sweep. I totally forgot to mention my yarns when I was showing my other pieces. I'm sorry. It is because I've mentioned the yarns in previous videos, but everything again will be noted down below. The cowl, this is being worked up in Bien Aimee's Corrie worsted in colours Jonna and Sansa. My framed sweater is being worked up in the Farmer's Daughter Fibres and Spincycle Yarns, the Spinster's worsted. Is that right? Bear with. Yeah, sorry. Farmer's Daughter Fibres and Spincycle Yarns, the Spinster's Daughter worsted, and then Spincycle's Dream State in the colours Love Me Like You Used To, Bittersweet Nightshade, and my contrast colour is Dream World. That's right, yeah, I got all that right. So I will write it down all below, and if I got any wrong, I'm really sorry about that. And the wiggly scarf, I am using the Ginger Twist Studio Pin-Up Sport in the colour Birdie on a Shoulder, which is this lovely cobalt blue, as you saw. Apologies for that, whizzing through everything. Then my work's in progress. I've got it down to 4. I'm going to try and keep it at 4. I have said previously I'd love to get to 2 or 3, so that if something came along that I wanted to do, I could sort of jump in and do it without feeling like things had to go before it or something like that, because we all see it. Something pops up when we're on Instagram or YouTube and we're like, oh my god, I want to make that. And yeah, so I'm just trying again, more organised, prioritising what I want to make and what I want to make it for, which is really important. As we know, as makers, I'm sure we've all done it when we've just got so much on and it becomes quite overwhelming, and I don't really like that feeling anymore, so I'm trying to get rid of it, trying to get rid of that feeling of the pressure, and like speaking constantly about deadlines really isn't fun. So yeah, that's it. That's my works in progress. I do have some acquisitions. It's very small, and I will tell you why after I've shown you them. So I was very lucky to win a Instagram competition by Sakami Yarns, and I got some lovely prizes from it, which I'll show you now. So first off was the latest issue of the Scottish Journal of Yarns, and it's absolutely beautiful. Some really, really lovely things in here in the patterns, and the articles look really, really interesting. Definitely planning on giving it a read, and I was super happy with that because I had already had a previous issue, so it is a journal that I am interested in getting and collecting and certainly reading, because a lot of insightful things, and it's so interesting learning about not only yarns but the impact yarn has had on certain communities. And of course Scotland's got such a rich history in yarn that it's a really it's a very thorough journal with the things that they talk about in it, so very happy with that. Something else I got was these absolutely lovely Bubbles and Berries stitch markers, which are hand embroidered, and this theme of these ones were for the Bug collection by Sakami Yarns, and just really, really beautiful. I've got a little ladybird one and I love it so much. They're so beautiful. And then something else which was really, really lovely was something included by Della Q, which is this really, really beautiful notions case made from leather and canvas, which was really, really beautiful. And it came with like really detailed care instructions, which I was really thankful for because I have no idea how to care for leather, so that was really good that it told me how to look after it and protect it and everything, because that's just like knowledge that you could keep. So I was really, really happy with this. Absolutely lovely. And it doesn't even stop there, because the prize also included 3 months of Sakimi's Yarn and Tea Club. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know, first of all, big fan, big fan of Sakami yarns over here at Rebecca Louise Knits. Love them. I love the colourways, I love the yarn selections. I have so many in my stash. I'm currently waiting on a pre-order from them, and I got the last few months Yarn and Tea Club, and I said to myself I'm going to be really good and I'm not going to get the New Year Yarn and Tea Clubs, and then I went and won them, which was a really big surprise. So I can't believe that's happened. Very, very lucky, very, very fortunate, and very, very grateful. And also to Sakami Yarns, because of course they offer these giveaways on Instagram, and I'm very fortunate that I was able to take part in it, and of course very fortunate again to win. So yeah, really, really big supporter, and I can't wait to see what the new Yarn and Tea Clubs are going to be, because they announced that they're going to be following on with the folklore theme, which I absolutely loved last year. Like, even I only got like 3 of the Yarn and Tea Clubs last year, and I already learned so many legends and stuff like that they had based the colours on, which was so interesting, because you get this whole added thing. It's like, it's not just a colourful yarn and a packet of tea, you get a story behind it, which is, I think, really, really beautiful. And yeah, so really feeling the love from yarn right now. Yeah, but like I said, yeah, I've got a pre-order on the way, which was bought in December, and so yarn is on its way. But on a personal note, I think I have already mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but the reason I don't have any other acquisitions or any new yarn to show is because I'm on a yarn ban. Yes, decided going on a yarn ban. It started at the beginning of the year, and it's going to end in April. I'm feeling very, very good about it. It was the right decision. I'm saving money and I'm working through the stash, which was really the one that made me decide to do it. I was like, we'll work through the stash, we'll create a lot more space, because I need a lot more space. It's very, very full here, very, very full. And although it's really lovely to see all these beautiful yarns on display, I do worry that I'm not storing them in the right way. And then there's again, and then it applies the same to what I've made. It's like, how could I store this and things like that. So I just really wanted to slow down, take a bit of time, and really think about what I want to make, how I want to make it. And then that really came to, okay, well, what are you buying? What are you buying to make things? Why are you buying specific yarns? And I really wanted to think about, like, from a consumer point of view and from a sustainability point of view, how do I keep this working the way that it does without it all becoming too much and not being able to use up what I've actually bought. So I went on the yarn ban. I thought, I'm going to give myself a few months and you're going to work through the stash. We're going to work through all the one skein balls. We're going to prioritise patterns to yarns I already own. And try and make it a little clearer for myself in my head, because going forward I would like to buy sweater quantities, and I'm going to need room for those sweater quantities, so it needs to clear some of it out. And one of the things I thought would be really fun to do is to show that process of those one skeins here and there, 100 grams or less. And I'm thinking of filming a series where I show you like the ball of yarn that I have and then what I'm going to make with it, so that it's an idea of other people know, because I'd personally love to learn more about what can you do with 100 grams or less, what can you make, what, I think it's going to be quite a lot of accessories, and I'm totally fine with that because I love making little accessories, as you can see from some of the things I have made in the past. But I really sort of want to do it myself, film the process, and to show others what they can do with such a small amount of yarn as well. Yeah. So that's something that I've got in the works that will be coming out over the next few weeks. And yeah, I'm on a yarn ban. I'm not allowed to buy yarn until April, which I actually feel really good about. I had a lot of stuff to sort out, and I was sort of like, oh god, it was the right decision, because it's been really good to figure out what I want to use. Like, for instance, a really good example would be, I had the Lapite lamb's wool just like sitting around, and I was like, oh, that would make, there's enough there for the scarf when the cal came around, and I was like, oh, it's great, it's already working. I'm figuring out what I can do with those smaller pieces, and just singular or 1 to 2 balls of yarn, because we all do it when we're buying yarn. You buy one, and then what am I going to do with it other than swatch for something, which isn't always as fun as it sounds. So yeah, that's it. That's my acquisitions. Something I did want to include today is my spinning challenge. I'm doing a spinning challenge of 100 days, and it's starting today when I'm filming this today, so I'm going to be spinning in a little bit, and I'm just going to include a video to show you how I'm getting on with my beautiful spindle that I got for my birthday it's one of the spindles from Bien Aimee's shop over in France, and I absolutely love it. And yes, we're spinning, we are doing it 100 days, and I'm hoping that I learn a lot. I spoke about it in my previous video, so if you want to know what encouraged me to do the challenge, go over and watch my New Year's planning video for my knitting plans for the new year, because that's where I talk about it more. But the inspiration did come from Drea Renee Knits, and if you know her or her platform, then you'll know why. But yeah, exciting new challenges, and I'm feeling really good about everything. I'm so happy with the progress I've made going into the new year. I hope you're also having as good progress, and I hope you've had a lovely start to the year, like I said at the beginning of the video. That's it from me. That's everything that I have to recap for January. Look out for the content that's coming soon. I've got the 100 grams or less, what to do, what can you make with 100 grams or less series, hopefully, thinking that it's going to be on TikTok, but I will let everyone know. And then I'm also spinning challenge. So thank you so much. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you are interested in anything that I've made or am making, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you're making. And yeah, follow me on my channel. Tick the little bell if you want to see when I'm posting again. And that's it. Thanks to everyone for watching. This has been Rebecca Louise Knits podcast episode 3.